So Vince McMahon came to me and he said to me, he says, you know, Bruno, Jim Barnett really wants in Australia. There's a lot of requests for you to go there, this and that. And he said, you know, they give most of the boys $500 a week to there. He says, and some of the few guys get $750 a week. He says, I can get you $1,000 a week. And I said to him, no. I said, that won't work. He says, what do you mean? I said, I'll go for $5,000 a week. And he looked at me like maybe thought I was kidding. I says, no, Vince. I said, I mean it. He said, Bruno, nobody gets $5,000. That's way out of reach. He says, how do you figure $5,000? I said, well, Jim owes me. He says, he owes you for what? I says, he starved me in Indianapolis. See, now I'm killing, as Dominic DeNucci would say, 2 stones with 1 bird. Because I'm reminding
Great philosopher,
Vince of what they did. You know what I'm saying? So I said to him, nah, he starved me. I said, I went through hell while I was there for him. I said, he owes me. If he wants me, he has to pay me for Australia and pay back what he owes a little bit.
You were in the driver's seat this time.
Exactly. So he says, well, I'll never go for it. Well, I said, great. I says, who needs to go to Australia? I said, I don't want to go to Australia. So anyway, this went back and forth, and finally Vince, in a very private meeting, he said to me, Bruno, okay, you'll get you $5,000, but not a soul must ever know about this, because Jim Barnett says that if this gets out that you're getting $5,000, he's going to have a lot of problem with future talents, other guys who are supposed to be big deals. And I said, I'm not going to tell nobody. I says, but if he wants me, that's the price. And so when I went back to Australia, when I went there, and for one thing, the publicity paid off for Jim Barnett, because no bragging, but he did. He said, after I'd been there for 2 weeks, he said, oh my God, he says, Bruno paid this way off already after 2 weeks, because we were selling out every night. But then he invited me out to dinner one time at the Chevron Hilton Hotel in Sydney. And he said to me, he says, you know, Bruno, he said, you really held me up. He said, I wonder what that was all about. I said, well, maybe I can refresh your mind a little bit, Jim. I said, Jim, do you remember when I was in Indianapolis working for you? He said, well, he says, yeah, for a short time. I said, yeah, but for that short time, I said, Vince, I survived on water and bread and staying up at the lobby of the Williams Hotel. Right. I says, because, Jim, I said, you starved me when I was there. And I know why. I know why. I know what contributed to that. But, Jim, it's payback time. And he said, well, he said, I'm happy to pay. He says, because you've earned it back.